UDM party leader, General Bantu Holomisa, has written a second letter to President Cyril Ramaphosa and Finance Minister Tito Mboweni about the alleged looting of funds meant for the Crede power and infrastructure water project by individuals implicated in the PIC corruption scandal. Now, he's claiming that there was tampering of computers at the Development Bank of Southern Africa. In the first letter he sent in June, Holomisa asked the Treasury to investigate allegations of looting. Now he's back asking for a forensic investigation. In his second letter, Holomisa says the lawyers of those implicated in the corruption are trying to intimidate him and gag him. This is after he blew the whistle on corruption at the PIC, which led an inquiry. The UDM leader joins us now for more on this. General, thanks very much for your time and welcome to the AM report. In some respects, you do mention this in your writings, but for those who haven't necessarily had the benefit of perusing through what you've written, give us an idea of why you would go ahead and write a second letter when it appears the first hasn't yielded any positive results.
The reason why we wrote a second letter is precisely because we've been alerted by this past Thursday or Friday that the DBSA management has removed all the information about this project in their computers and some other items which were not part of us. So we found that this is nothing else but fraud. And we are saying the President and Minister of Finance must send or appoint a forensic audit to check which information they're removing. And if they are returning that information in future, will it be a credible information? Simple as that.
Perhaps it's worth taking a step back, General, with you helping us connect the dots. There's the Crede power and infrastructure funding, there's those implicated in the PIC inquiry, and there's also the Development Bank of Southern Africa, all these major roles and institutions. Give us a sense of the nature of what you know. Well,
what we know is that the Harris, which was established by the PIC long time ago, and they ended up hijacking that company and registering under certain individuals. That company has got 60% of in this project of water project. And the DBSA, rather they applied to DBSA to get money, about 50 million, and the DBSA board in March this year approved that 50 million for a study, and also they said they would need another 300 million for implementation. So when we saw that there were names of former DBSA chairperson, chairperson of PIC, former PIC chairperson Jabu Mlegeti, and also the other directors of his, as well as the current chairperson of the pensions, government pensions. We said, but why her name is here? What's going on here? Then we also saw that the former chairperson of Sanral and other directors of PIC, former directors of PIC or board members. Then we were suspicious. No, something is not right here. And of course, as usual, they ran to court like spoiled children, but to try and gag us. But they failed on that urgent application. That's 2 weeks ago, and they were ordered to pay the cost for wasting our time. So we are ready in court anytime they want. But the government, Minister of Finance, and the President's office, they are dragging their feet. And I doubt if they are serious when they say they are fighting corruption.
I guess we'll have to take their word for it once we give them an opportunity to give us their side of the story. But, General, it sounds like there's a concerted investigation on your part. Help us understand how you're learning of these different things. I mean, are you actively going through the paperwork and, I guess, uncovering what you're alleging or coming across it by chance?
No. I only investigate or make an issue when I've been alerted. Then you start your own investigation. Then
who's alerting you to these things, General?
All your sources.
Who's telling you all these things?
Who's telling me?
Yes. Who's alerting you to these allegations?
You can also be a potential whistleblower. I'll evaluate the information. You give it to me.
All right.
Why are you worried about who's telling me that, rather than the content?
Because that's what gives us an idea of whether or not the content in and of itself is credible. But let me also ask you this.
The content is credible. Just go and investigate or bring them to the studios and ask them about whether the DBSA has not approved 50 million and whether these companies I've mentioned and the people I've mentioned are not part of that, as to whether those people have not been fingered by the PIC Party Commission. What more do you want?
Sure, no, this is why we brought you to help us explain some of these issues, General. Before I let you go, you also mentioned in some of your letters that, some of the lawyers of the people who are implicated in what you're saying have tried to gag and intimidate you. What have they done to make you feel this way?
Or they went to court to say this information I've given them is wrong. But fortunately for them, we produced the document, their DBSA document, which tells us that they have applied for this money, and that this money has been approved by DBSA. So the onus is on them to convince the country and the courts of this land.
All right, let me thank you for your time. Certainly appreciate it. Bantu Holomisa is the leader of the UDM party and, to be fair, also credited for blowing the whistle that led to the PIC inquiry being instituted. General, thanks very much indeed for your time.